Picture this, a royal marriage that defied the drama of divorce, turning into a lifelong bond that even the King of England seems to endorse. Intriguing? You bet it is. But here's where it gets controversial. What is this so-called friendship is just a polished facade in the cutthroat world of royalty. Stick around, because we're diving deep into Queen Camilla's unique relationship with her ex-husband, Andrew Parker Bowles. And trust me, it's not the typical breakup story you might expect. Long before she became Queen Camilla, the consort to King Charles, she was wed to Andrew Parker Bowles for more than 2 decades. Their union ended in divorce back in 1995, yet it didn't sever their connection entirely. Instead, they described it as a lasting friendship in their joint announcement about the split. As Joe Little, the managing editor of Majesty magazine, shared with Hello, there's still a closeness there, but clearly on a different level. It's not a frosty, awkward relationship. For beginners puzzled by royal dynamics, think of it as an evolution. A marriage that dissolved but morphed into something else, much like friends who outgrow a partnership but keep the warmth alive. Joe added that it feels like a natural evolution of a marriage that was dissolved and then became. Biographer Sally Bedell Smith, in her book Prince Charles, The Passions and Paradoxes of an Improbable Life, noted that by 1973, pressure was building on Andrew Parker Bowles to make a commitment. This sets the stage for what happened next, and it's a perfect example of how external influences can nudge personal decisions, even in seemingly private lives. And this is the part most people miss, the alleged family intervention that forced Andrew's hand. According to Sally, Andrew and Camilla's fathers, Derek Parker Bowles and Bruce Shand, were thoroughly exasperated by Andrew's dithering. Andrew's cousin, John Bowes Lyon, revealed that the patriarchs took drastic action. They placed an engagement notice in the Times. His hand publicly forced, Andrew proposed to his girlfriend of nearly 7 years, Sally wrote. Interestingly, John mentioned that Camilla's parents were very keen that Andrew should marry her. It's a reminder that even royals aren't immune to familial pressures, which might surprise those who view their world as purely glamorous. The couple tied the knot on July 4, 1973, at the Guards Chapel in Wellington Barracks, with notable guests like Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, and Princess Anne in attendance. Imagine the grandeur, a wedding steeped in tradition, yet perhaps not entirely driven by pure romance. Of course, no marriage is without its hurdles, and theirs was no exception. Whether Camilla and Andrew Parker Bowles were sort of a marriage convenience, rather hard to say, but no reason to suspect that she didn't love him when they married because they were together for 20 years, Joe explained to Hello. But I think there would have been undoubtedly challenges throughout that marriage. These challenges become clearer when we look at the bigger royal picture. In her infamous 1995 BBC Panorama interview, Princess Diana dropped a bombshell, saying there were 3 of us in her marriage to Charles. A clear nod to Camilla's involvement, while Charles and Camilla's affair made headlines during his first marriage. Joe pointed out that Andrew himself had a roving eye, not just before, but even during his union with Camilla. This mutual wandering adds a layer of complexity, making you wonder, were these affairs a symptom of deeper issues, or just part of the high society norm? But here's where it gets controversial. How did Andrew react to Camilla's affair with Charles? Biographer Penny Junor, in The Duchess, The Untold Story, claimed that Andrew didn't make a fuss upon discovering it. Andrew was in no position to complain, and when he discovered what was going on, he wisely didn't make a fuss, she wrote in a Daily Mail excerpt. It's an intriguing counterpoint. Perhaps Andrew turned a blind eye because he knew he wasn't in a position to judge, given his own behavior. For beginners, this illustrates how affairs in such circles can create a tangled web, where judgment might be withheld for practical reasons like maintaining family harmony. By 1995, the marriage had run its course, and they divorced amicably, stating that the decision was taken jointly. In their announcement, they noted, "Throughout our marriage, we have always tended to follow rather different interests, but in recent years, we have led completely separate lives. They explained that they had grown apart to such an extent that with the exception of our children and a lasting friendship, there is little of common interest between us, and we have therefore decided to seek a divorce. This open declaration shows a level of maturity that's rare in celebrity breakups, emphasizing respect over bitterness. Their amicable vibe shines through thanks to their two children, son Tom Parker Bowles and daughter Laura Lopes, who have blessed them with 5 grandchildren: Eliza Lopes, Gus Lopes, Louis Lopes, Freddie Parker Bowles, and Lola Parker Bowles. Joe attributes their ongoing good terms largely to the kids. "I think, like many divorced couples, it's down to the children," he said. The children were teenagers, I think, at the time that Andrew and Camilla separated, or rather divorced. But nevertheless, they maintained this amicable relationship because of the children, and that's continued to the present day. It's a heartwarming example of putting family first, even after a split. Think of it as prioritizing the next generation over past grievances. Tom himself reflected on this in 2024, calling his parents still great friends, while chatting with people about Christmas celebrations. It is something to work towards. It's a maturity that is a great thing if, despite a marriage sometimes not working, you can keep it together for the sake of the children and the sake of each other. Then it's a very good thing. Lady Lansdowne, a friend of Camilla's and godmother to her daughter, echoed this in the Times, describing how the former couple maintains a really good family ethic. "Everybody loves Andrew. He's a real charmer, but he's always terribly misbehaving. Andrew will ring her up and tell her when she's got something wrong, and she'll ring him up and say when he's misbehaving. Through adversity, they've kept a really good family ethic. It helps with their children and grandchildren. This playful accountability adds a fun, relatable twist to their bond. Over time, Andrew has shown up for Camilla in various ways, from attending events like Royal Ascot to representing her at occasions, such as her sister-in-law Princess Anne's events. He even graced King Charles and Camilla's 2023 coronation at Westminster Abbey. After his 1996 remarriage, Camilla reportedly felt deeply saddened by the 2010 passing of his second wife, Rosemary Parker Bowles, and attended a memorial service. Joe describes their connection as an extremely comfortable relationship, very civilized, not forced. It's a very natural friendship. Though some reports call them joined at the hip, Joe suggests that's an exaggeration. Still, they're undoubtedly close. "We don't know how much contact they have, but clearly there must be a lot of interaction because of the children, so I suppose that he has her back when needed," he noted. Camilla has a lot of close friends that she's known for many years, so I think her backup team is very important to her, and Andrew Parker Bowles will be part of that team. And Joe believes King Charles is fine with it, explaining, "Because had he not been, then the relationship wouldn't be as we see it in public." It's a subtle nod to royal diplomacy. Perhaps Charles appreciates the stability this friendship brings to his wife's life. So, what's your take on this enduring bond? Do you see it as a genuine friendship, or could it be a strategic choice in the royal spotlight? Is it admirable that they prioritize their kids? Or does the history of affairs make it harder to believe? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with Penny Junor's view that Andrew wisely didn't fuss? Or is there a controversial side to this tale we haven't uncovered? Let's discuss. You may also like Queen Camilla's invaluable workout to keep her nimble at 78 confirmed. Inside Queen Camilla's relationship with her ex-husband, Andrew Parker Bowles. The royal treatment. Deborah Mitchell shares her secrets behind the Queen's signature facial.